Okay, we're continuing with the quote book, Holy Grail of Wisdom Quotes by me, Pete Rogers, in alphabetical order. We're on letter S for Arthur Schopenhauer. He's the German philosopher. He's actually the greatest of the German philosophers. Nietzsche's funny, but he's really a jerk. He doesn't have much to say, okay? Goethe is clever and pleasant, and he's a good motivator, but Schopenhauer's done the most advanced thinking. Like if you want to become a genius yourself, the most important one to read is Schopenhauer. Nietzsche will tell you, don't be conformist. Okay, thank you. It's kind of obvious. Okay, Goethe will say, you must love your task in order to become greater. Okay, that's good. But Schopenhauer goes way beyond that. Okay, and Schopenhauer, don't get me wrong, he's quite crazy. He never got married, never had a child. He hated his mother, who was a jerk. I think she cheated on his father and was pretty nasty. And he didn't like women in general. He was sort of pessimistic about life. And he was sort of a fan of Immanuel Kant. And Immanuel Kant's like the biggest jerk. Ayn Rand pegged him correct. She said he's the first hippie. He's the destroyer of intelligence, the destroyer of rational thought. He deliberately made his, limits of reasoning book obtuse just to confuse people. Immanuel Kant's a total jerk. Don't waste your time reading him. Okay, so what does Schopenhauer have to say? He says, without books, the development of civilization would have been impossible. Books are the engines of change. They are windows on the world. They are lighthouses erected in the sea of time. They are companions, teachers, magicians, collectors of the treasures of the mind. Books are humanity in print. Libraries are the lasting memory of the human race. Yeah, so if you want to learn, you have to read a lot. That's where the books are. And I told you the secret of reading a minimum of 3 books a week. Have a table in your bathroom, always listen to a book in the car, and then read on a treadmill. You just do that, you're going to get your reading. You don't have to be on a treadmill. You can walk around your house, your apartment, whatever. But do those 3 things, and you'll read at least 3 books a week. Then read some more on your computer. You read while you're eating dinner on the computer. You got 4 books a week. You do that every night. Okay, Schopenhauer continues, it is only by reflection that one can assimilate what one has read. If one just reads on straight ahead without pondering over it later, then what has been said, what has been read, does not take root, for it is for the most part lost. Yeah, so basically you read a book the first time, and you go through it, and then what you should be doing is you should be marking up the book, making notes in there with your pen, folding over the side of the page, putting a Post-it on there, and then you go back to it the next time and you extract that information and you put it with the rest of your information. So if I'm reading a book of quotes, whatever I like, I'll only like about 1 out of 100 quotes. I'll put those in my quote files of the quotes that I just learned. Or for whatever the topic, about diabetes, hypertension, coronary arteries, whatever, art, history, whatever. You just have to have a knowledge management system where you trap that information so you've got it for future reference if you want to go back to it. Okay, he says, education without thought is like a wig. It's like your typical professor. They've got knowledge, but they don't have wisdom. A sense of humor is the most divine quality in a man. The amateur is not trusted by the professionals or the public, but he is the only one who is really earnest. He pursues the topic con amore. It is these who have always done the greatest work. Yeah, you look at the best books written on cancer in the last 10 years. What are they? Number 1, Tripping Over the Truth by Travis Christofferson. Okay, it's magnificent. Shows you the Genome Atlas project showed that somatic mutation theory is a joke. Metabolic theory of cancer is correct. Then you look at Cancer Resolution by Mark Lintern. I just did a book review on that. Masterpiece book. Then you can look at my own book, Poor Man's Way to Fight Cancer. All of us were just interested in cancer. We don't work for the establishment, so we just say whatever we thought based on our learning. And before that, who had written the best books on cancer? People like Janet Murray, who's a decade survivor of metastatic cancer. People like Dr. Day, multi-decade survivor of cancer. People like Ruth Heidrich, multi-decade survivor of cancer. People like Kelly Turner, the Irish lady who worked with all these long-term survivors of metastatic cancer. And none of them would be considered establishment people. They would all be rejected immediately by the establishment. Oh, where did you do your fellowship? Oh, you're not fellowship trained in oncology? And you didn't train in a respectable place? Oh, then you're an ignoramus. You don't matter. Well, they actually are the people who wrote the best books. Okay, next topic. It is precisely in minds of, oh no, this is a good one. He says, an academic professor is like a conformist fawning dog, totally predictable. And they're always going to say the conventional way is the greatest, their university is the greatest, okay? An independent individual thinker is like a wild animal, a wolf. They tell the truth, and it could shock you and scare you. Yeah, I'm like the equivalent of that in the nutrition world. The high-fat phonies, they don't want nothing to do with me. The bro science, they wouldn't even waste their time talking to a nobody like me, okay? But the people who want to learn, they like it because they want to learn. And they know I'll tell them the truth. I don't have to sell anything, promote anything. But that's the price that goes with it, obscurity. It is precisely minds of the first order who will never be specialists, for their very nature is to connect things from different fields. The more the author knows, the less charismatic he needs to be and still be worth reading. The book is best when the writer takes information from his own head, his own experience, his own thoughts and ideas. Learning to read and write in Latin helps a writer to write in their native language. In the process of translating a sentence, the writer has to think about it, how to recast the same thought into their own language. Insight is what matters, not information. University academics are almost entirely phonies who pursue their fields just to make money and to show off. To know something useful, the scholar must think about what he has read. To achieve something great, the knowledge must be pursued as an end in itself. To know only one field well and nothing else is to be like Quasimodo, the hunchback, who only knew his way around Notre Dame Cathedral in the Les Mis book by Victor Hugo. So anyways, that's it for Arthur Schopenhauer quotes, the first day.